All right, gang. So as we all gather together like Merry and Pippin in The Lord of the Rings, finding ourselves sitting on a field of victory and enjoying the well-earned spoils of war, we have a number of heroes in this victory to thank, and someone who stands tall among those heroes is our good friend Cliff Maloney of the PA Chase. He and the door knockers at the PA Chase were at the heart and soul of this get out the vote effort in the key swing state of Pennsylvania. And gang, you were all instrumental in helping Cliff and his team out in their efforts. And Cliff is now back with us to savor the sweetness of victory. Cliff, my friend, welcome and well done.
I appreciate it, Dr. Steve. Look, it's one of those things. We're all exhausted. We're sleep deprived. We're tired, but we're on our fifth wind here, just enjoying the moment. I really feel like, it was really awesome to have Pennsylvania be the state that called the 270 for Trump. I was actually live with Charlie Kirk when it broke, and Charlie was bawling his eyes out, and we had a really viral clip. But it was just, so surreal to build a program like this. A, you hope you have impact. B, you hope you win the state, and then three, to have it be the tipping point. Yeah, it's just a really cool experience.
That was going to be my. You're ahead of me. You must have looked at my notes before we chatted, because I really wanted to get a sense of how you felt when they called Pennsylvania, because the theme of the PA Chase. I don't know, when did we have you first on? It was a few months back. The theme of the PA Chase from the very beginning. Your whole slogan for months was "Win PA, win the nation." Actually, years. I think going back a few years. Win PA, win the nation. That's what happened. I mean, we watched it in real time. My son, who's studying in Athens right now, he's a freshman at the University of Delaware. He's out in Athens. He texts me like, I forgot what time it was, Cliff. Like, was it 1 a.m. or so, or whatever?
Yeah, a little after 1, I believe. Yeah.
Little after 1, he texted me literally 10 seconds after they called Pennsylvania. And he's like, how's Trump doing? He's been following the election big time with all the guys out, all the Orthodox guys out in Greece there. They love Trump, and all that. So and he's like, how's Trump doing? And I'm like, dude, 10 seconds ago, they just called PA and therefore he won. We knew it. Therefore, how did that feel? I mean, you've been living that paradigm now for years. You knew he wins Pennsylvania. He wins the nation. They call Pennsylvania. What was it like?
I don't think it's quite hit yet, to be frank with you. I mean, I think, Trump winning has hit. But when you believe it as strongly as I do, I mean, we're looking at the numbers daily, right? So you know this because I announced it on your show that we were aiming for 33%, right?
Yep.
And
early vote.
Yep. Right. This is 33% of the mail-in vote. We landed at 34.5, which I'm extremely proud of our team for. But I tell people, even the number that we originally said, which was we think he would win with 30%, it would have been very close, right? So
yes.
Getting to that 34.5, and remember, he had 20 to 23%. Republicans have been low 20s. So we've seen a double-digit gain. But how does it feel? I'm humbled. I'm appreciative. I'm grateful. But that's all feelings about, kind of how I feel. I feel like we've saved the republic.
Yes.
That's the true answer there. I feel like, this was a time where the right people had to come together, and so many patriots that listened to your show, Steve, sponsored these ballot chasers that were out here for 2 months. So many of the people in your show came out here and volunteered their time.
Yes.
And I just want to say directly to them, thank you. The next 2-3 weeks, that's really what I'm going to be doing is we're going to be looking at some strategies for 2025. But really, I just want to make sure I'm taking the time to thank every activist that was on the ground, thank every volunteer that came out, thank every donor, because these things don't just pop up, right? I think a lot of people, they give me a lot of credit, and I'm not looking for that. What I'm looking for is other people to really dive in and build this permanent infrastructure, right? We've now got a case study for the first time on the right side of the aisle when it comes to these mail-in votes and how to chase them, how to get requests. We can apply this. And before I say I'm expanding outside of PA, I'm not saying that. We've got to double down in PA, but I need folks from around the country if anybody's in a state where you have these new sets of rules, or if you just have election day, but you want to run a real ground game to turn out the vote, get a hold of me. Okay, I got nothing to do. That's a joke. I got a lot to do, but I got plenty of time here. You know, for the last 8 months, I've had tunnel vision. Right? Win PA, win PA, win PA. And so I joke with people, but if you think this is something you want to fund in your state, you want to manage and run in your state, shoot me a note, cliff@phchase.com. Send me a text message, 215-989-3451. I really am encouraging people to take this, look at what we were able to produce, but we have to do more of it. The left has 5 to 10 groups in every single swing state. Okay, we don't need to solidify or unify as some central power. No, we need to match what they do. We need other people to help with the permanent infrastructure. That's my big takeaway from this whole entire project.
That it's so awesome because the articles that are coming out now is, we were within just a couple of points of flipping Minnesota. We were within a few points of flipping New Mexico. We were within 5 of flipping Jersey. You saw it, man. You saw it. So everybody, Cliff and I are geeking out because we're in the greater Philly area here. Dude, they're saying, Rich Barris of the People's Pundit is saying Jersey is going to be a swing state. The new populist realignment is going to be, what you're saying is so huge. We're at the cusp of a potential political realignment to secure MAGA dominance for the next generation.
Somebody texted me yesterday on election night, and they said, New Jersey Chase, question mark?
Yeah, NJ Chase, man. NJ Chase, I could see it. I mean, hey, can you tell us all about, when you were in the thick of things, you had a little hit piece done on you by CNN. I mean, the legacy media is now all either eating crow right now because they are all admitting that organizations like the PHAs, Charlie Kirk's Turning Point, you guys were all making the difference in the early vote, getting the vote, getting out the early vote effort, just voting in general, get out the vote effort. They originally tried to smear you, didn't they?
Yeah, it was funny. Charlie and me talked about it on his show last night. But what happens is the story from the left, and when I say left, I mean both Kamala's campaign and the media, because
they're the same thing. Right. They were the same thing, man.
Right. It's one and the same.
Yeah.
So at first it was, they're talking about how they have this powerful ground game, and it's connecting with black women, it's connecting with all females, it's connecting with all these demographics, and they're touting this. I'm talking about the narrative of them, right? Then I'll talk about how we come in. So it's all, we're going to have great results. We're going to have great results. Well, then the returns started to come in, Steve, on the mail-in ballots. And they said, oops, right? And people started asking questions. So what did they do? They spun the narrative.
Right.
And so the narrative then became not, we're going to have these results. It's, look at our efforts. And this is where we come in. About a month ago, the media started talking about how Kamala's efforts outweigh Trump's efforts. And they said the ground game for Harris is unbelievable, and Trump's ground game is non-existent, right? This is what they're saying. And,
that's crazy.
Imagine being in my shoes, right?
Right.
We've hired 120 people. We're running morning meetings. We've got housing. We've got our daily tracker that's reporting these numbers. And I'm just listening and seeing these reporters' questions. And I'm like, what do I need to do? Like, do you need to, you want to go to every single one of our houses? Like, I'm not going to give you that type of access, but this is obviously a false story. So, long answer to a short question, the legacy media got barking orders, and all of a sudden they're coming after Elon Musk. They're coming after Charlie. They're coming after me. They're coming after Scott Pressler. And it was hilarious. The thing that they hit me on was we were in Erie County, and one of our team leaders up there, who's a great patriot, he knocks on the house of an address that has 53 people registered to vote there. Okay.
Yeah.
And he knocks on the door, and the woman that works there, she's like the receptionist. There's one Republican ballot. I'm not even going to tell you how many Democrats. You can do the math.
Right.
And he says, hey, is so-and-so here? and the receptionist says these words: "Oh, no one lives here. No one lives here permanently. This is a monastery. People are only here for 1 to 2 days, but no one would live here." And we're like, there's 53 registered voters, most of them Democrat, right? So then we look into it a little bit. These guys are like pro-trans, pro-choice nuns.
Unbelievable.
Very, very weird. So anyway, I just post it and I say, hey, we're going to look into this. We're not going to let illegal votes count, so we're going to do our research here. And what I realized, Dr. Steve, is all of these left-wing sites, they just love to take that and then say, nuns do live there. See, election fraud. This guy's a fake. Trump's a fake. They all claim election fraud. And after doing like 2 interviews, I said, I'm not doing this anymore. So every single reporter that would respond to me, I'd say the same thing. I'd say, if you can get the staff member and ask them why they lied about no one living there, I'm happy to continue the conversation.
Right.
Why is no one asking that?
Of course not.
And so anyway, you find these narratives, and I tell a lot of conservatives, when you're over the target, be prepared to be thrown into some of these things.
Right.
But you just got to keep going forward, ignore the hits. And if you don't laugh in this industry, you're going to get burned out immediately. These people are jokes. Laugh at them.
I love exactly. Dismiss them. They mean nothing anymore. We want the parallel media of X and social media. And so the parallel media won. The legacy media lost. They were probably the biggest losers of them all because, I mean, they're the same as the Democratic Party. They're a propaganda machine, and they exist solely to protect and perpetuate the regime, the establishment, and so they by definition exist to make conservatives and or just ordinary. I mean, some people are calling this the alliance of the normies, the rebellion of the normies, and or just people who just believe there are 2 genders, for heaven's sake, right? I mean, this isn't radical stuff here, but they exist solely to make us look bad and to make the regime look good. Hey, do you have anything on the latest with Dave McCormick and the race there? It looks like he's pulling this out.
Yeah, so what we're waiting on, you're asking the right guy. I think I've been up all night following this. And just for you folks out there, I didn't tell Steve to give me the softball on this. So Cambria County and Montour County are the 2 that still have votes out that are at least a little bit of a significant amount. For your viewers that didn't follow Cambria County, this is where the scanning machines at 7 a.m. were malfunctioning. And so they decided to extend the polling hours, and then they did a hand count. They originally said they would not release any of the data until the hand count was complete. That was supposed to be this morning, or actually right about now. But the reality is a couple thousand trickled out this morning. The reason this is important is right now, if you look at the race, Dave McCormick is up roughly 30,000 votes. Okay, it's 3,305,000 to 3,335,000. It is razor tight. And Cambria, which is where I went to college out in Johnstown, it's 70% Trump, 30% Biden. I should probably pull the new numbers now that we have them, but in my head, it's a R+40 county. So it's a big swing for McCormick. And that county right now, I'm pulling it up, only 48% of the votes are in. And so he's winning 60 to 37 in that county,
nice.
But only 40% or 48% are in. So here's the rundown. He's going to be winning by at least 40,000, okay, once Cambria comes in. Montour, the last one, let me see. Yeah, Montour's now in. So it's just Cambria. He's going to be winning by 40,000. We don't know how many provisionals are out there, but that's all Bob Casey has left. Is 1, he could try to demand a recount, or 2, he could challenge the provisional status of those ballots to try to get them to count. In 2020, we had 103,000 provisionals statewide. So if we look at the fact that we had less people vote this year, when you look at some of the totals, I'd say it's probably going to be somewhere between 90 and 100,000. But because so many people voted in person or less people voted by mail, I expect even more of a drop off. So you probably have 75,000 provisionals statewide and McCormick is leading by 40,000 if this trend continues. There's no path for Bob Casey. Yeah. Even if every single one of those mail-in ballots that he challenged, or the provisionals, even if they all counted, McCormick's going to get 30 to 35% of those because of the
that's enough in the margin. Yeah, yeah.
This PHAs thing. I'm being funny.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
Have you heard of this?
It's not 80-20 anymore, right? So this used to be a big problem because anytime the courts would agree to batch or allow a batch of these mail-in provisionals, well, we'd lose 60% margin.
Right.
Now we're only losing a 33, 34, 35% margin.
Right.
So I don't think that McCormick has much to worry about. I think Bob Casey needs to concede, but he's a career politician. I don't expect him to do it anytime soon. I'd be impressed if he did, but these Democrats are very unimpressive people.
Very unimpressive for sure. Cliff, man, besides you and I getting together on a field of victory and enjoying those spoils of war, what's next for you? Yeah, you gave a little bit of an illusion there, but you helped conquer the woke dragon. Where do you go from here?
Yeah, I think I'm going to huddle with Trump's team. I'm going to huddle with the RNC. Would like to huddle, with Charlie Kirk and his squad, Scott Pressler. I definitely think we're going to be doubling down. The question is, do we come back and start chasing requests January 1 of 25, right? Do we hold off till 26? Do we spread this thing across to other states? I'm going to leave the options open. What I know is we have a proof of concept. We have a case study. We're going to continue to analyze the data. We're going to refine what we did because effort's not everything, right? Results are what matters. So I want to continuously improve this program. But I think this is going to be permanent infrastructure. That is if you gave me, how do you sum it up? Permanent infrastructure like the unions have on the left with the Democrats, that is what we need. If we're going to compete, we do that. If we have permanent infrastructure in states like Pennsylvania, when you look at the numbers, it's a red state.
Yep.
It's the one missing piece is we need this permanent infrastructure. It's got to be constant. People can find me on X at Maloney and get a hold of me at cliff@phas.com. Seriously, if you want to bring this to your state, you want to manage it, you want to fund it, I'm happy to hop on calls, give advice, walk you through the basics. But I think the permanent infrastructure, we solved that, Steve, and we've got a strong republic.
You heard it, gang. Take them up on it. You're not going to find anyone better. Cliff, again, we can't thank you enough for what you've done for us. And you, Charlie, everyone involved in getting out the vote. There are just no words that can even come close to expressing how grateful we all are for you and for your amazing efforts, my friend. Thank you so much.
Dr. Steve, we appreciate you. I appreciate the audience. Total Patriots, and we'll do that drink here soon. Take care.
Amen.